Hey guys, Michael Wolkow. I'm the operating partner, broker in charge for North Carolina and realtor. I'm not just a team lead, but I am also a realtor in the trenches with you guys every single day, servant leadership, leading from the trenches and working with you elbow to elbow.
What is the most important thing you have learned about the real estate market in your years of experience?
The most important thing that I've learned is that every single transaction is different. Every interaction with every client, buyer, listing agent, buyer's agent is different. And to learn a nugget of information or something from every single transaction, because it's just going to help me apply that to the next one and just improve my skill and my, you know, ability on the next transaction so I don't fumble on something.
What are some of the biggest challenges you have faced as a real estate broker, and how have you overcome them?
This is a great question because I was literally just asked this earlier. And I think for me right now, where I am in my life with having a new baby, a 4 month old, the biggest challenge that I found is being as efficient as possible with my time. I used to be somebody that would wake up at the crack of dawn and I would work from 8 a.m. until 9 p.m. at night. And now I don't have that luxury. So I have to be very diligent with my time, scheduling, time blocking. So I've gotten a lot more efficient at completing my tasks in the allotted time that I have in my day, which is roughly from like 9 a.m. until about 3 p.m.
What advice would you give to somebody who is thinking about getting into the real estate industry as a realtor?
The biggest thing that I would tell somebody is it's not easy. This is not a part-time job. This is not something you can just do on the side. This takes a significant amount of hard work and dedication. And the two things that I really feel like that have been the secret to my success, and I really do feel like are the keys to pretty much anybody in sales success, is the amount of effort you put in and your mindset. Those are the really only two things that you can control. And if you don't have that level of effort that's going to be above and beyond what you think is possible and a strong mindset, then this is not the business for you.
When I interview agents, I tell them, like, yeah, it's like, yeah, I want to set my schedule. I don't want to, work for anyone else. Like, all right, you're not going to work 40 hours a week. You're going to work 90. And yeah, you can set your schedule, but most of the time it's going to be nights and weekends. And then for those of you that don't know what effort means, that's grind. You've got the grind, and you've got to grind in the beginning, at least, I'd say at least 3-4 years of like really grind to actually build build a business, start building a business.
And uh, you can't train and you can't teach effort. It has to come naturally. It has to be within that person to be able to do that. I can teach your mindset all day long, but your effort has to be within you. It's not something that you can learn. You just have to have that skill set. And very few people have that. And that's the difference between top producers and
Mhm.
people that are no longer in the business.
Yeah. I mean, it's that statistic where it's like 20% of people do 80% of the business.
Yeah.
I actually think that statistic's a little low. It's probably more like 10 to 15% do 90% of the business, especially when the market gets more difficult. It's not that these agents are more successful, it's that when times are hard, you work harder. So
100%.
that so when the market's good, you've got that business in place, and you've been following up with these people and creating that business. So what are some of the most rewarding aspects of being a real estate broker?
I think for me, the rewarding aspect is helping people with home ownership. My road to home ownership, my first home that I bought was a was a great experience. I had some really great help, a great agent that really helped me through that process. And um, but it was the most rewarding thing that I've ever done in my life was buying a house. I mean, I'm married, I've got kids. Obviously, that's one of the most amazing things in life is having a child. But just from a growth standpoint and a sense of accomplishment, buying my first home was a tremendous accomplishment. And working with homeowners, individuals, especially first time home buyers, like helping them buy their first home is a tremendous accomplishment for them, but it really like fills my, my spiritual bucket. It fills that part of me that allows me to know like I was there. I had that same feeling that you did, and I'm helping you through that. I'm helping you, you know, believe in yourself. I'm helping you accomplish your goals. And I especially love it when it's some really young people. I mean, I've had clients as young as 20 years old that bought their first house, and this was pre-COVID. And so now they're sitting on a gold mine of equity. So that's for me is really the biggest the the greatest thing I can get out of it is just the helping people accomplish a massive goal of buying a house.
I kind of categorize first time buyers when you complete a transaction with a first time buyer. If you're a golfer, you've got, so each round is 18 holes typically, if you can make it that far.
Not
But
involved.
usually in each round, you're going to have like probably 4 shots, 3 or 4 shots that are like pro shots. That's like how the pros hit it, like every time. And I always joke around about when I'm out there because I'm like, all right, when's my shot going to be? I'm already 3 holes in and I haven't felt that connection. You hit it clean, it's good, you aimed right, it goes right where you wanted it to, even though you don't even know really how you did it. But those shots keep you coming back to the course because if you didn't, well, it's not fun. But then when you actually do it and you're like, oh man, I got 4 shots this round. Oh, I did 5 and I had a birdie putt. Like it was amazing. That's what keeps you going. That's kind of how I compare. Well, that's how I look at first time buyers for my business and my career. It's that a lot of transactions that we do, we're very personal, they're extremely stressful and they like drag you through the mud. And when you're done with it, yeah, you're excited, but you're also like relieved because it's like that was crazy or horrible or whatever it is. But dealing with those first time buyers, it is, even if the deal was hard, when you get to that closing table and they're like crying and this, and I mean it's that keeps you going, that continuously keeps you going, has not gotten old.
Absolutely. I mean, there's so much emotion wrapped up in them on the first purchase. And like the feelings of like when I, work with like an investor client and they close on a property, there's no emotion at all with them. It's just about the numbers, about the bottom line. And it's a completely different experience. And I mean, I enjoy it because, it's real estate, but it's a completely different feel. Like it's like I'm just going through the motions with them
Mhm.
to get the deal done. But when it's with a first time home buyer or a younger couple or somebody, it's a completely different experience, and if it's a younger family or younger individual buying, I know that's not going to be their last house. It's their
Right.
first house, and I got to be part of their first experience of buying a house, and I got to hold their hand and teach them and help them, learn the process so that when they do go buy a new property, they're already experienced at that point. And
I love it. One side that I've been seeing that I really hadn't seen before is really the flip side. People downsizing from their forever home or people helping their elderly parents sell that family home. And it's extremely rewarding, but in a very different way.
Oh, yeah.
Emotionally, it's very emotional. Especially if you know the person, which typically you do, or you've done transactions with them, so you have a history and they're comfortable with you. And talking to someone about her father-in-law, and he took so much care of the house and this, and it's super emotional, and it gets them thinking about when they're going to have to downsize. I mean, it's rewarding, but those are the things that really bring that human feel to what we do. And those are the times when really we add our value. There's a lot of talk of what's a realtor's value and all that. Well, we're here for emotional support, an unbiased. Yeah, I mean, we're part of the contract, but everyone wants the same thing. um, that's when our money is made, and those very difficult, emotionally strenuous. Sometimes people are out of town, they're not even here. uh Setting up estate sales and staging and all of that stuff. I mean, so much goes into it. uh so I love that you get a deep feeling from the human aspect of real estate. And we talk about that all the time. Leads are not numbers, customers are not numbers. Don't treat them that way, or you're not going to sell anything. um, that's what it is. I love that relationship aspect.
That's what it is, man. Relationships more than anything else. And I mean, that's the key, I think, to one of my biggest marketing strategies is relationship based marketing.
Right.
It's yes, we're trying to sell to people, but we're not going in commission breath. I'm not going in, hey, you want to buy, you want to sell. I'm going in to provide value. And most of the time it's people that I already know, or people already within my sphere. And it never is me going in talking about real estate. It's just talking about business, talking about like a classic car, or a baseball team, or a sports team, or like a new restaurant. And then the conversation, shifts to real estate. And then bam, there's my opportunity, to monetize that relationship, you know, to turn into a business, and I mean, and I feel like that's missed on so many different agents and people in sales. I don't think that they consider, their own people that they're already interacting with as potential clients. They're not monetizing their relationships, and it's not in a greasy, cheesy salesperson way, but in a professional way. And I mean, there should be no reason why the people that should be offended if you ask for their business. They know what you do. And it's
Mm-hmm.
not like I'm going in again, like I'm not going in with commission breath, but just a gentle, easy conversation. And the next thing you know, hey, I need to sell my house. I need to buy. I know somebody that needs to buy. My parents are downsizing. They're relocating. Hey, can you help them out? But it all comes back to that relationship more than anything else, is a relationship that you already have formed with that person.
What is your outlook for the future of real estate? And it's general. You can pick one piece, or something that you think is going to be a significant change, or you can talk about rates, you can talk about supply, whatever, anything.
So I would say my outlook for real estate is obviously very positive, given where we are currently, like in our market, but also where I am geographically in the Charlotte market. There's a significant amount of available land, opportunity to build, usable land development that's coming to the area, um, industry that's moving to the Charlotte area because they're getting tremendous tax incentive. So I have a very positive and rosy outlook on the state of real estate here in the Charlotte area. I've seen it continuously grow over the last 10 years. I've seen an influx of traffic. I've seen a huge influx of people moving from the Northeast. I, I sometimes see more New York license plates than I do North Carolina license plates.
Sure.
It's kind of weird, but I'm like, change your license plate, bro.
I noticed that last time I was there.
But I think there's a tremendous opportunity, and I think there's going to be a lot of growth in the real estate market. And of course, the real estate market is cyclical. We're going to have our peaks and valleys. We're in a valley right now, but the market is still strong. We're still producing. We're still selling. We're still representing both buyers and sellers. People are nomadic. We're always going to have the need to buy and sell houses. So I have a very positive outlook on the immediate future of real estate, as well as the long-term future of real estate here.
All right. Bonus question. You've answered all the questions properly, so you get a bonus question. What is it? Okay, you can go either way. What is either the most awkward thing you've walked into or seen while showing a house, or what is the most awkward, weird thing that you have found or seen, like object or situation, or both, doesn't matter.
So,
and you don't have to be PC, it's okay.
One of the strangest properties that I ever showed, I think the house was probably built in like the 60s or 70s. And I was walking upstairs in this house, and when you enter the hallway with the stairwell upstairs, it had shag carpet, right? But not just the floor was carpeted, the walls were carpeted, the ceiling was carpeted, and the entire upstairs walls, ceiling, floors were carpeted. Even the bathrooms were carpeted. All around the toilets was carpeted. The walls were carpeted. I've never seen anything like that before other than that. It was quite unique. And one other very interesting home that I showed at one point, every single bedroom besides the master bedroom or the primary suite, all the bedrooms had deadbolt locks on them that locked from the outside as if they were locking somebody in the room. So don't know about that. Not sure who was living there, who was being locked up in those rooms. Maybe it was, I don't know, a house of ill repute. I don't know, but quite interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like the intro to one of those Hostel movies.
I think they filmed Saw there.
Probably. I'll share. I've got a couple of really good ones. In one of my first listings, I mean, I was green. I was like, I had my suit on. I was like, yeah, I'll organize your basement for you, and I'll
wearing your Ferragamos.
Oh, I probably dropped the commission to 1% on my side just so I could get the listing. Ended up selling it, but I won't say anything about his name or whatever it is. But he's showing me around the house, and we go up into the master bedroom, and there it like in the middle of the room there is a hook on the ceiling.
Sweetest sex swing
with the swing there. He was like, that, don't worry about that.
That does not convey with the house.
He was just like so nonchalant about it. I was like, come on, man. Like, you knew I was coming over here. I think he did it intentionally just to be funny. Another one that was actually really smart. This was the first time I was meeting this guy at his place, and we sat down at the dining room table. And because I always think, I'm like, when you're meeting random people you never met and all that, you're always kind of like on your toes a little bit. We sat down at the dining room table, and he just had his gun right there. And it wasn't like flashing it or anything. It was right there. And it didn't, I didn't blame him. It didn't like sketch me out or anything like that. So I remembered it. And then this one time.
That sounds like a Tuesday here in North Carolina.
Right. Well, I was also very green then as well. And, guns have never really bothered me. I was just like, I looked at it and I was like, oh, I get it. I get it. And this other time, we were walking through a house. We knew someone was probably going to be in the base. Like they let us know there's someone that was going to be in the basement. Usually it was like a cousin or whatever. But we go down in the basement. Hold on. We go down in the basement. The guy's naked and he's like this.
Oh my God.
I don't know what he's doing. He's probably doing that bar fight thing. I don't know what he was doing. We were like, hello. Oh my God. It was probably intentional. Yeah, so that's some fun stuff. Well, thank you so much for jumping in. We'll continue to do more and more of this. This will be posted to YouTube, so you'll be able to relive it over and over and over.